Governor Nyeso Wike has reached out to United Nations and other world bodies to closely monitor President Muhammadu Buhari. He pleaded with the United Nations and other world bodies to help check the activities of the president during the 2023 elections. Wike, who is advocating for credible electoral process in Nigeria, appreciates the United Nations envoy UN for their selfless services to the development of the state. The Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has called on the United Nations and other world bodies to mount pressure on President Muhammadu Buhari to conduct free and fair elections in 2023. The governor made this appeal during a working visit by the United Nations Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator Edward Callon at the Government House in Port Harcourt. The Punch reported that Wike specifically urged the United Nations agencies to continue to advocate for a free, fair, and transparent electoral process in Nigeria. Wike, who spoke through his deputy Ikpabido Ari Banigo, said Rivers State believes that strengthening democratic institutions was the way to go. The governor expressed regret that at a time when the country was moving on digital form, she could not pass an electronic transmission of results, which according to him would curb insecurity in the country. Wike added that, like you have rightly said, this country has a good role to play in the West African scene. We are condemning what is happening in Guinea. We spoke against what is happening in Mali. So we have to demonstrate it here. We cannot allow this country to go into 2023 elections without the electronic voting passed as a bill. We cannot at all. Please use whatever advocacy level you can use. I think this is the time to speak loud and clear. Because the stability of a democratic nation all over the world is based on its electoral process, and if the electoral process continues to be insincere and continues to be non-transparent, there cannot be any peace and free and fair election. Governor Wike has expressed delight for the partnership between the state government and United Nations. He thanked the United Nations Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator and his team for their selfless service in the state. In his remarks, the United Nations Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Callon, said a visit to Rivers State was to reinforce the partnership between the United Nations and the Rivers State government. He said such partnership at present will address the impact of COVID-19 pandemic and accelerate implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals to build back better and continue to create durable solutions for economic transformation in the state. Adding that several United Nations agencies have on ongoing programs in Rivers State. The United Nations envoy commended the governor for his administration's commitment to better the lot of the Rivers people. It will be recalled that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar met with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike in Port Harcourt to reconcile their differences ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Nation report indicates. Atiku's visit to Wike was the first since he reportedly outsmarted the governor to emerge presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) against Wike's preferred aspirant and Sokoto governor Aminu Tambuwal in 2015. It was recently reported that Wike and Atiku were in separate camps in the battle for the fate of Prince Uche Secondus as national chairman of PDP. Earlier, some parties loyalists are apparently dissatisfied with the crisis knocking or rocking the People's Democratic Party. Well, the members of the party's reconciliation committee, led by former Senate President David Mark, have visited Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State also. And in Dimfit, the PDP crisis, which David Mark Saraki orders, meet Wike and asks governors to withdraw case against Secondus. Well, it has been said that the report indicates that Mark and 7 other members on Tuesday, August 31, held talks with Governor Wike over the crisis in the party for about 3.5 hours. Well, the news gathered that the members tabled a 3-point agenda, including asking him to prevail on Rivers PDP members to withdraw the court case, which led to the suspension of Prince Uche Secondus as national chairman, seeking his opinion on how to move the party forward and reconciliation with Secondus. Yes, the Nigerian government has, deemed it fit, not to pass the bill, which is called the electronic transmission bill, which would rather help in curbing, rigging, and also open free and fair election. Because as it is, governor of Rivers State has employed United Nations to come to Nigerian aid amidst the outbursts and the insecurity that is bedeviling the country. And in other words, towards 2023 election, is calling on the United Nations to come and oversee and watch what the electoral process is. And meanwhile, that the electronic voting and electronic transmission should be should be passed on to Nigerian electoral system, and the bill should be passed. So members of the House has defaulted, and also neglected electronic transmission just because of their selfish interest, because they are planning to rig the election. I would say the APC, the All Progressive Congress, the administration, some of them have really dispute the electronic bill. They never wanted it to surface, or the federal government shouldn't pass the bill, so they rejected the electronic transmission. And that is what will help Nigeria as a whole when it comes to electoral system and electronic transmission. If there is no electronic voting or electronic transmission, there won't be transparency. Like what we had in 2015, everybody believed that Goodluck Jonathan won that election. But when there is no electronic transmission, when there is no electronic voting, things will be awkward. There will be manual, cancellation, manual declaration of results, and manual, rigging also would definitely, erupt. Well, according to some reactions on this article, someone says, I too love the boldness of this governor. If we have 3 bold governors like this, the country would have been shaped at least to a level. Governor Nyesom Wike is bold as a governor Opom. Well, according to Imma Bong says, Wike should be careful with Secondus issue, lest the North will use him as a bait and use Amechi to bring suffering to the entire nation. Okay, the same way they brought Amechi, must it always be Rivers people who should bring down his person? Why is Wike not learning any lesson from the issue of Amechi? And good luck. You can see somebody like Amechi out of his selfish accreditment fought against his brother and region, which from the foundation of Nigeria had at any time smelled the seat of power, but by God's providence granted them the position without stress. And that's what somebody is saying and advising Nyesom Wike. In other words, what I would like to deduce from this article is the United Nations that has been called by the River State Governor Nyesom Wike, that they should come and oversee the electoral process and election during 2023, that the electronic voting or electronic transmission should be passed into law. Yes, I would like you to share and buttress what this article says. Thanks for listening, and God bless you.